What's going on? Move the mouse here back in City Skylines with a new build. Let's play Season 5. So I was thinking we could combine a couple ideas, and we're going to use the Snowy Coast map. So recently I've threw out a poll to see what people wanted to see next, and how-tos and tutorials actually won out, so I will be updating those over the next couple weeks. But as far as an actual city build, what was most popular was a tie for Small Mountain Town and Snowfall. So I'm actually going to try and combine both of those into one build. And I figured for a Snowfall map, we could call it Winterfell. Now we're not going to be using any of the cheats. We will leave dynamic weather on so we can see it snow once in a while. We're not going to have day-night cycle on, at least not for now, so that we can see things nice and easy. And as you can see on the right-hand side, it's got a decent amount of natural resources, ore, oil, farming, and forestry. Decent amount of water. It's got the most buildable space out of all the Snowfall maps, but it also has outside connections for highway, rail, air, and shipping. So it's a pretty good all-around map for us with some decent buildable area. It'll let us get over towards the mountains, and I'll show you what I was thinking from the build as soon as we can get in here and look at the areas overview. So right away, let's go ahead and pause it, and we'll zoom out and look at the areas here. So this first tile, I want to kind of use the trees as a barrier for our town, the old town, the small town square. Everything that'll be built off of will sort of be in this area. We'll have a little bit more modern area up here near the highway, but it won't be too big. Eventually we'll switch this over to a cloverleaf so that we can access the yellow snow up there, which is actually good fertile farming land. It's not the yellow snow that you think of when you think yellow snow. So that's the good yellow snow. Areas wise, we'll go north, and then I think we'll go west. And that should get us access to rail. I'm assuming that'll give us access to shipping over here. We'll be able to build towards those mountains. And again, we'll try and kind of tuck things away in between the trees where there's those natural clearings. We'll start to use that to define the little areas of our town. So I want to do things a little bit differently this time around, though we do want to unlock one-way roads. So we'll build one little segment. Whoa, a little lag there. We'll delete that, and then that unlocks one-way roads for us. And we'll need those in a second. But what we're going to do here is actually a 4-lane road. We get that median in the middle. I'm going to come out 20 units. And then from there, I'm going to switch back to our one-way 2-lane roads. I'm going to go on a curved, and I'm going to bring, let's actually bring it all the way down. Tiny curve at the very end. We will reverse that. Now we might have, it's possible, people might come off the highway and U-turn back on, though it's probably pretty unlikely. But this way we've got 2 lanes coming in, 2 lanes going out. We've got that little divider in the middle. And this can be kind of the start of our main street, but I want our main street to actually do something a little different here. So I'm going to come out at a 45-degree angle, just 10 units. So 90 plus 45 is 135. And then from here, we'll come down, say, 30 units. Again, at an angle of 135. That we get these 2 parallel roads. We do the same thing over here. We'll reverse this direction in a minute. 10 units, 90-degree angle. And then I want to curve this side around. So we're going to freeform this. This gets a little quicker and easier. We'll come out at about 135. About the halfway point. We'll do that. Let's reverse our directions before I forget. So this sort of acts like a little loop. This is going to be our newer downtown area. So we'll have some commercial buildings off of here. And some somewhat blocky neighborhoods, but not too crazy. We're right in the middle of those 2 nodes. So we'll come back. Let's come back 11 units. Keep things a little bit tight through here. And we'll just do this 1 block on either side, basically, lining up with these nodes right here at the curves where that kind of bends in. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And that's going to be the extent of our grid. We're not going to get too crazy with it in terms of making this all feel really blocky. We want it to feel loose, but this sort of newer, upgraded downtown area right off the highway is going to have some structure to it. Where things are going to get a little bit looser is over here. And let's go into gravel roads for now. Let's kind of find the center of this area, somewhere over here. And what I want to do is I want to do an old town square. This is going to be gravel roads over here for now. We can upgrade them as we need to. When you think about how towns are kind of built up, more recent, say, American towns, you have the highway running through here. The reason that there's a highway running through there is because there's a road that sort of runs parallel to it. It was the old road that sort of took traffic through the area. And eventually that gets upgraded to a highway that runs parallel to those other routes that are going through this area. But if we think way back when smaller towns were first established, they might have been built off a really simple town square not far from a river, and things sort of spin up and get built off of that. So we'll kind of feather this in and connect it into here. But let's do some gravel roads for now. We'll curve this one in. Helps if I switch to the curve tool. But what I'm kind of thinking here is that this is gonna run into right about there, about where that rock is. That'll be a road that sort of leads traffic back up this way into this one way. And then we'll sort of do the same thing here. So I want to come out to about there, connect it down through here. And then we want some other roads that sort of branch off this into this area. Then some coastal property maybe down here. Let's actually do that first. Let's do a little coastal road. Sort of end things there in the trees. Then we'll get this connected up. I'm actually getting pretty close to where I want to be for money for defining road networks. So this again is going to be kind of our old town square. I think we can make this into a park. Should probably do that. We put like one monument in there, but that'll sort of be the focus of our smaller residential area out here. Of another road that hooks in over here eventually. But let's move some people in up here to start. And, or I shouldn't say move people in, we'll move some businesses in up here off this main town square. The newer commercial district, if you will. I want to do that, but I will switch over to the marquee tool and I'm going to deselect this. I want people moving in, businesses on that center square, but we might start to do some mixed use zoning, like get some residential and things in there behind there. Let's do one block of industrial for now. And maybe we can go up this way a bit just to give us some room for power. So let's do that to start. We'll run power this way across. Get people connected up that way. Let's drop our water in next. And we'll cut some corners here, and we're going to do the standard sewage pipe, not too far away. So we don't have to do too much piping and running of power. We will eventually upgrade to greener options, but money's going to be tight in Snowfall, especially when we start having to worry about heating management and things like that, snow removal. So we'll see what we can do. Let's see here. Where do we want to move our residents in first? So let's get them going on the side streets. We'll do that for now. We'll bring some water down here and run some electricity, and we'll really sort of expand slow. We'll see when we get people to move in here. Maybe actually we'll change this up just a little bit. Let's do this. I'll zone that off, and then we'll water it. Residents are going to need that water first. Sorry for those of you that like organized pipes. This is not going to be the map for you. Because things are going to be really loose when it comes to the road network. So we don't need to overwater things with a crazy grid. We need to cover the neighborhoods that we're building up here. So let's run power just to the edge of this for right now. Hopefully it fills in fast enough where we won't have to worry too much about it. Space already occupied. Is it right on the building? All right, we'll hit play at 3 times speed. Let's start moving some people in. Oh, before I forget, because money is going to be tight on Snowfall. Let's get right ahead of that in our budget and knock that down. All right, there we go. Now we can't access the park area tool yet, but when we can, we'll make that a park. Sort of make that feel more like an old town square center. So these residents are going to complain about electricity at first. I'm hoping somebody moves in at the end of the street here. Hope if I zoned it. Let's not zone there. That's too small of a patch. Hoping that builds up before they complain too much and move out. Just do that. Get it connected. Get them happy. They need electricity for heat. It's 16 degrees out. Okay, we gotta get water up here before we're out of money. And since this is a little bit more developed, we will grid over here. This is sort of the newer part of town. Built up a little while after this one. So there's reason for it to be more gridded, and in this case, roads versus gravel roads. We will at least upgrade this main path through here. But I think I want some of these side streets and these homes to be on gravel roads. I think that would be kind of cool for a change of pace, and definitely a very different look in the Snowfall map. So we're still losing money, but we haven't really pulled in a lot of people yet. We haven't zoned off, have we? Any industry? Well, let's go ahead and get that going over here. Do a little bit of a separation for now, but we're eventually going to move this all out anyways. Well, we've got a little bit of money left. Get one more block in here of industry. Get this watered. Hopefully that will tide us over for at least hitting that first milestone. We get a little weird with it here up by the highway. And we've got a ton more residential demand, so let's answer the call. People moving in down here. We're not going to do those real small lots. We're going to keep an eye out for big lots like this where houses might move in next to one another. And I might end up dezoning. It's not kind of the right size and shape houses I'm looking for down here. But we are running out of electric because of our budget. We want to stay just on top of that so that we're not wasting any money there. Let's go all the way down to the end of this block, and then we'll double check our water, which I think is going to be a little dry over here. It is. So demand-wise, we're pretty good. We've got everything covered there. We're almost at our first milestone, which is 440. Garbage, healthcare, education, and snow dump. They don't mention that on the major milestones. It's just a function of the roads, basically, but we need a spot to put the snow. Like, that's a really small house right there. I might end up bulldozing that one. We'll see. Maybe we'll let him stay. I don't know yet. I'm not a fan of you. Tiny little house with a satellite dish on top. I mean, that is like a one-room house, basically. But you gotta have TV. And a couple of lawn chairs out back with no material on them? Is that just not animating? Let's get down there and get a look. Oh, no, okay. Oh, do we have a Snowfall specific mascot that we can call upon? We have a polar bear or something? Oh, okay. All right. Hang on. Let's zoom out a little bit here. We did hit our milestone. Let's pause it. We got a couple options here. I am definitely going to go with the big boy here, the big moose. Bullwinkle. The mascot of Winterfell. We'll definitely do some running around with him. So let's see here. It's Bullwinkle Stark, by the way. In case you were wondering. He does have a last name. Demand-wise, we're good. Let's pause real quick. We'll go into economy. We'll up our electric to 75%. Go over to loans, because we can take that now. And we unlocked garbage, healthcare, education, and snow dumps. So let's get healthcare in here. How does the hospital cover? Not so great. So we kind of want a local clinic down here for the residents. Cover pretty good. Does all right. That make much of a difference? Not much. But we'll throw the clinic right there. Certainly has a nice happiness effect. Education-wise, let's put a elementary school right next to it if we can. That works out pretty good. And we've got to do garbage and snow dump. Or at least I think we should. So let's do garbage all the way up on the end of this street. All the way out to the side of the map. We know it's going to pollute a little bit. Recycling's not as bad. And then if we go into roads, over here on the maintenance, we can do a snow dump. So this is a noise pollution bubble. But it's not really a polluting industry. Will it fit right there? It won't. No, I gotta remember to space those out 12 instead of 11. I keep doing that. Let's throw this right on the end of... We do want to keep building out that way a bit. So maybe what we can do... How much are we moving out to do this? We are affecting quite a bit here, but I just want to fix this now. So we'll go into roads. We'll make this 12 units. Alright, so that's a little bit different, and that will let us drop a snow dump down here as soon as we have enough money for it. $5,000. But now I can extend this road down that way. Alright, we got a little bit of water up there. Gravel roads aren't too expensive, so let's see if we can get at least one more kind of cut through here. It looks like right there might be a good spot. Sort of right in between those two roads. Something like that. That'll eat up into a couple of those lots. I'm okay with that. I actually didn't mean to zone that as residential. Meant to do that as commercial. I want commercial all around this center square, basically. And let's see. Do more residential out in this coastal road. I'll have to extend water pipes here in a minute. And we're going to be really tight on money, but I just want to make sure we get to that next... Where is it? Come on. The next milestone at 850. We don't have power up here at the dump, but I think it still functions. Could be mistaken. Recycle plant, rather, I should say. I probably should dezone this in the meantime. Let's do that. We'll fill the area up here with industry, and hopefully that will spread power up that way. There is a bit of demand, so if they move in that way, that'll help us. As soon as we get a little bit of money in our pockets, we'll start to build over the highway, buy that other area, and work on some farming up there. Alright, so Worthy Village milestone, we've unlocked an area. Ability to do districts, second loan, policies, police, and fire. So let's take out that loan. Let's bump our taxes up to 12 before I forget. Let's pause it. And let's drop in a police and fire department. And just to make sure there's no problems routing traffic, we'll give them a turnaround up there. They should just be able to come up here, turn left, get anywhere they need to in the city. Do we unlock park area tool yet? No, we probably unlocked that at the next milestone. Park areas, yes we do. So in the next episode, we will unlock, hopefully, the park area. We'll start to build up our town square here. We'll start to see some businesses populate around it. Is that a DQ? A BBQ? Yeah, so we'll build this out, and we'll probably be able to kind of fill out this area right here in this first tile. Do a little old school industry pocket up here, commercial, maybe some high-rise band, European style, high density residential at some point up here by the highway. But we want this to have a real loose old town feel. And we'll do a bunch of little towns basically. There'll be farming here, clearing up there, there'll be a little town. Farming area over there, another little town. We'll space things out, use some different transport methods. I think we'll stay away from things like metro, and instead we'll focus in on the buses and trams instead, and kind of move people around that way. Probably wouldn't have a metro in a small town like this, so we'll find some other ways to ship people around. Maybe we'll do a ferry back and forth across the river. That might be kind of interesting, but we'll come up with some ideas. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Snowfall this season, small mountain Snowfall map is going to be a little bit different. But that about does it for this one. The Town of Winterfell, episode 1. I'm going to shoot for new episodes of the Let's Play every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this month. Live streaming Thursdays and Saturdays until Game of Thrones is over, and then we'll get back to the Sunday stream most likely. But join the Discord to get more information on the schedule. Follow me on Twitter as well for lots of silly gaming related retweets. Thanks to the patrons, and thanks to all of you. If you enjoyed the video, every like, comment, share helps the channel a lot and is greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications. And until the next one, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.